9:50 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Cloudy tonight with a low of 30, then Saturday cloudy with a high of 39. We're headed into the coldest days of winter, but the hottest music can be found at Crooner's Supper Club in Fridley with the hottest local and national acts. Visit croonersmn.com to view their upcoming music schedules and their food menus. Crooners is off Highway 65, just north of I-694. Visit their website at croonersmn.com.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. And we discuss local, national, Native news events. And as you know, Haley, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Daga. This portion of the show is supported by J.S. Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul. Only the good stuff keeps us awake.
Yes, we are awake and we're resisting. Hey, we have our friend, State Senator Mary Kunesh on, and it's really good to see you. And I want to wish you, of course, a happy Native American Heritage Month.
Well, thank you very much. Happy to be here, everyone. Good to see you.
Well, we can probably start with your update. I saw some cool pictures of you and Haley. My hip was kind of aching when I saw that, but you guys were at the round dance.
Yeah, we were. I didn't know. Well, I think I knew Haley was going to be there, but it was good to run into her over at
the Bell Museum.
Yeah, the Bell Museum at the University of Minnesota. I forgot where the name of it. It's right on the corner of Cleveland and Lexington over by the St. Paul campus. And Haley, if I'm not mistaken, was it for the University of Minnesota students?
Yeah, the Student Cultural Center there at the U of M. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they put it on.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was a small enough event where you saw a lot of people and it wasn't overwhelming. And it was just in that main, if anybody's been to the Bell Museum, which is really cool and everybody should get over there. They have a huge woolly mammoth and other things, but they had it right in that main entryway area and had a bunch of vendors in the back. Always cool stuff to look through. But Representative Keeler was there. Representative Koslowski was there. I saw Crystal. I saw some pictures that Shannon Gishik was there at one point. But I had to leave and go over to McAllister to do another student event. But Haley stayed there. I don't know how late you were there, Haley.
I think I did stay until the end because I had a friend that was vending, but you did miss the Lily contest. Me and Heather Keeler participated. I went first, believe it or not. There was only 4 of us that participated in the Lily contest, but they had a war cry contest. Of course, the best ribbon shirt and best ribbon skirt. It was overall just a great evening.
Yeah. And lots of kids were there too. It was wonderful. It was a really nice little intimate event. And, you don't often see them just as a round dance, right? It's usually a big, full on powwow. But man, they had, how many drummers were there? There were a lot of them in the center, weren't there?
Yeah, there were.
Yeah.
I kind of like those intimate ones. It's like a more spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Did they do a singing contest too? With all the hand drummers?
They did.
Yeah, that's always cool to hear, especially the young ones, but also the veterans too. It's a beautiful situation, and I know that's always part of the round dance when they have those contests.
Yeah, and of course the potato dance.
Yeah, my forehead's not flat enough to do that dance. My old student Misko, and she would always win. It seemed like.
Yeah, some people are really good at it. I know, Mary, we were watching these two little kids do it together, or a mom and her daughter, and it was the cutest thing.
It
Oh,
was really super cute. Really super cute. Yeah.
well,
Mm.
yeah. So also too, I think some of the events before we get into what's going on with the nation, one of the events that I know mail's been a little sketchy here in Mac Groveland here in St. Paul, but I didn't get the invite to Senator Mary Kunish's birthday party.
Oh, that was a very small, intimate event,
Happy
very select
birthday.
few. Yeah,
Yes.
granddaughters and kids and closest family. Thanks. That was really fun. It was a lovely day and a great celebration in the evening. I have a twin brother. He was out in California, so it was every now and then he gets home to Minnesota for our birthday. Last year he was home for it. Then we
Wow.
had big family event. When we turned 50, man, we had a blowout party. It was the best. So when we hit that next milestone, I think we'll have to reenact that one if
Wow.
handle it at our age.
Well, you don't look a day over 50, so I don't know what you're talking about, but that's awesome, and we just wanted to, and we've been meaning to. It's been in the script, Haley, to wish you a happy birthday, but I think it's more effective that we're doing it in person on air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
So
Thank you
happy
so
birthday,
much.
Hocheni Hamkebeske.
Hey,
Oh,
listen to
won't
that
be
ho
that.
chunk speaker. Whoa.
A little
Yes.
bit, a little bit.
Right on. Well, yeah. So, you're going to be heading and probably have been heading up to the office, which is the state capitol, because soon enough you'll be in the throes of it. But,
Mhm.
as being a part time job, you sure seem like you're working full time all the time.
I am. I really feel like I am. And, like you said, once session is about to begin January 14th, everyone wants to start talking to you and talking about bills and what's your priority and all these questions. And lately I've just been saying, we've got a million questions and no answers. So hold tight. At least in the Senate here in Minnesota, we have that one person majority.
Mhm.
Which is wonderful. Thank you, Ann Johnson Stewart. And she will be getting sworn in on Monday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Kelly Morrison, Senator Kelly Morrison, stepped down from her seat to run for Congress, and she was successful. So she's going out to
Yes.
Congress. I don't know how much fun that will be under these circumstances, but and so that left that spot for a new senator, and Ann Johnson Stewart won, which is great because she and I were elected to the Senate the same year, but because of redistricting, she got redistricted out, and now she's back for more, which is wonderful. She's a lot of fun, but she is just a genius when it comes to infrastructure. She's a contractor that deals with roads and bridges and she's just brilliant. So we need people like that in the Senate. So she is getting sworn in on Monday. So that'll be a really special day.
Well, and then the House is even, right?
Yep, I think it's going to be tied for the next 2 years. There were two campaigns that came very, very, very close. Dan Wogamont up in the St. Cloud area, I think he's prevailed. He's got like 100 and some
Lead.
ballots to protect him. But
Mhm.
Brad Tapke down in the Shakopee area, he has only 15, so he will have won by 15 votes. And
Whoa.
yeah, and I don't know if they're going to take it all the way to the courts or not. It costs a lot of money to do a recount,
Right.
and the candidate or the party that instigates it has to pay for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the case, but it looks like we will have that 67-67 tie at the Minnesota House.
That'll make things very interesting,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because some people will cross go across lines, and that's a good thing. So, hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, our friend here on Fridays, just checking in. This is Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot, and we'll be back in just a moment with Haley and State Senator Mary Kunesh.
Stay with us.
When we heal from our traumas,
when we face our fears,
let go of our addictions,
when we relearn our values,
when we live our teachings,
respecting our elders,
cherishing and honoring our children,
when we honor and take care of our spirit,
there will be no room left for sexual violence.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. They'll mail you a go-to card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. That's 612-373-3333.
It's okay to talk about mental health. It's okay to struggle. And it's okay to ask for help. It's important that we support one another and work together to end the stigma so that we can start to tell a different story about mental health and well-being in our community. If you're looking for support for yourself or want to find resources for a loved one, visit makeitokay.org to get started. That's makeitokay.org.
Thinking about college? Consider checking out Minnesota Private Colleges. These 18 nonprofit institutions keep the focus on students with small classes and professors who will get to know you. You'll find students from all backgrounds, and no two colleges are alike. And when it comes to cost, they're more affordable than you think. Find the college that's right for you at mnprivatecolleges.org/possible. That's mnprivatecolleges.org/possible.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're with our friend State Senator Mary Kunesh of the great state of Minnesota, and we're just talking about, some events that have happened recently, and it's great to have you on and give us updates, too. So what else have you been doing, State Senator?
Oh, well, let's see. On Tuesday, a bunch of senators were invited, and we went down to Shakopee to their cultural center. It's, I don't pronounce it very well, but it's the Ho-Chok-Katachi. It's a term for the lodge in the center of the camp that they built on their lands, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful cultural center. There's an interactive historical, side that you can go through. A fabulous, fabulous gift shop, and I know there's going to be a makers market down there. Right? Yeah. When is that?
The 13th through the 15th. And Native Roots Trading Post will be there too, selling our goods and our wares and our arts.
Mm-hmm. So that was really lovely to be able to get down there and show it to the senators and for them to hear a little bit. And then we jumped in a van and went and looked at their compost system out there is just really phenomenal. And then spoke to their public safety and their police and their fire folks about how they do things, not just within the boundaries of their reservation, but how they are very collaborative with the county and the local communities as far as making sure that public safety issues are addressed. So they have a really great collaboration relationship, which was not always the case in Minnesota because, Minnesota is what we call a public law 280 state where the federal government has had a lot of jurisdiction over, especially the safety, the policing, and the public safety. But when the tribes wanted to establish their own police departments and public safety offices, they had to go through the state, and they had to basically partner with the county sheriff, and the sheriff would sort of be their oversight and, make sure that everything was the way it should. And some of the counties, they have had really good relationships with their county sheriff. Some of them have not had very good relationships, and some have had really horrible relationships with, some pretty catastrophic consequences when the county isn't holding up their part. But Shakopee and their county have a great relationship, and have been able to, really provide the state of the art public safety vehicles and equipment. The guy was there and showed us the it's my sister. He showed us their drone program. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. And he had a drone there, and he talked about how they were able to do the work of the public safety using those drones.
Yeah.
So it was really great. And I love it when they invite us down. And I'm really proud when our senators decide to join in the conversations and go down there and learn more. This was the second one, probably in the last 2 months, that we've had where legislators can come down and learn about the programming.
Yeah. Well, Scott County, I don't think would have grown half as fast if it wasn't for the Minwacan Sioux down there and all those things that were going on. Because I remember, was it the 90s that was like the fastest growing county in the state?
Yeah. Yeah. And when I was in the House, I carried a bill to emancipate, shall we say, Prairie Island. And they also have built a really great relationship with their county sheriff. And the county sheriff he actually testified in favor of, emancipating and unlinking the public safety from the tribal safety from the county. And I remember him saying, they actually have better equipment. They respond quicker. If ever we need them to step in and help, they're always there to do that. And so I know that we've been trying at the legislature to do that for all of the tribes. We don't have to do it for Red Lake because, of course, they never were part of Public Law 280. But yeah, really impressive, and glad that I went down there again. Every time I go, I learn so much.
Yeah, it is. And you did mention about they have that, I want to say museum, but it's more of a kind of a glassed-in historical thing about Shakopee and their history and their veterans. As all Native communities are very everything surrounds the veterans and the elders and are very revered. So yeah, if you can make it down there for anything, because it's open to the public.
Yeah, it is. And there was another group that was coming through, and he was telling us that so many other folks, other schools, a lot of school districts bring their kids down there, which is so great. And it's just a jewel of a building and so much information. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it. It's on the other side of the casino, and before the casino, it's on the left-hand side if you're heading towards, I guess that would be south. I'm not sure, but you can see it. They have these big old teepees there that are huge, artistic teepees outside the building.
Yeah, it's really a lovely spot, and they are doing so much incredible stuff. Oh, and we drove by the buffalo herd, and so yeah, it was just a really great day, and glad that I went.
So what else have you been doing? I know you're getting revving up for this coming session, which will be totally interesting, like we talked about in the last segment. But there's a lot of prep going on, and I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't affect you now, but people change offices, and because somebody has more votes than the other side, and just weird stuff. That it's fun too, State Senator. We've experienced this on Native Roots Radio with you over the years, as first being a representative, and now the last, was it 6 years you've been a state senator?
Four and four. Yeah, the House will. I think they're going to be co-chairing and co-leading. So that should be interesting. So every committee will have a chair that's GOP, a chair that's DFL, and they will, carry those committees in that way. I don't know exactly how it's going to go day by day, but there will be a lot of moving around and changing things out a little bit, and that just leads to see. I did have a really lovely experience at the MIWRC, Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, where they had a groundbreaking. There's going to be a new addition onto that building that's going to provide, I think, at least 10 additional rooms for families and individuals. And I was so pleased that I was invited to go to that groundbreaking. Saw Ruth M. Buffalo there, which was lovely, and really excited to see that there's that investment in the community for really a unique, most vulnerable group of people, women and children.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it went from 14 to 24 rooms, and another thing about that organization's been around 40 years, and one of the first, I do believe, in the community to really be helping, and they're still here. And it's great to have former representative of North Dakota, Ruth Buffalo, here in Minnesota working on that. It's so awesome.
I know. I'm glad she found a really good project to work on. And I'm glad that it's here in Minnesota. She's, stepped into, this project in such a great way. A lot of her staff was there, and that was really great to see them and to know that they've got that unified vision. It's like you said, an organization that's been around for so long and been providing those services. But, I don't know that it's always been invested in as much as it should have been over the years. The building needs a lot of work, but yet they provide incredible services and support systems and activities. There's always, moccasin making or beading or ribbon shirt or ribbon skirt sewing. And I just have to really commend them for sticking it out through thick and thin and doing such a good job of it.
Well, it's interesting. We had Ruth on for our Sunday night symposium that you helped me co-host during COVID. And I hadn't met her until that wrestling match that was done for All Nations. That was the first time I met her, and I was intimidated. I asked you to interview her. I don't know if you remember that.
I do. Yeah. She has a presence about her that is really special. But really, she's such a good-hearted person, and the work she does really comes from the heart.
Right on. Hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and this is Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break. Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
Howl! The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Researchers across the country, including in your area, are conducting a study that can include you or people you know. The calcium and vasopressin following injury early resuscitation trial, or simply Cavalier, is a research study that will look at whether giving two different drugs, calcium, vasopressin, or both, early in the course of treatment would help severely injured patients that lose a lot of blood survive their injuries. To be included, a person must have trauma injuries that cause large amounts of blood loss and need to receive blood. Because treating traumatic injuries with blood loss is an emergency, there may not be time to give consent before giving the calcium, vasopressin, or both. Most people will be too severely injured to give informed consent, and families are usually not available in time. However, researchers will notify people enrolled and give them detailed information about the study as soon as possible after they arrive to the hospital. For more information or to opt out of this study, please visit their website at lightsnetwork.org/Cavalier or call their toll-free number at 1-800-664-0557.
As we age, it's important to invest in our health and to help protect it. Like the flu, COVID-19 is always changing. That's why it's important to stay up to date on your vaccines. By getting the flu and COVID-19 vaccines, you can renew your body's defenses and lower the risk of getting sick. Get your health boost and protect yourself against the flu and COVID. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Again, that's vaccines.gov. Vaccines.gov.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
ATN AM 950, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Think your company's safe? Your staff is working from home, right? As I speak, cyber criminals are mounting attacks across the country. Remember, when we're weakest, cyber criminals attack. Hi, Mark Sommerfeld from Rymark. The Rymark team is guiding our clients through these difficult times. In fact, demand has been so high, we created an easy-to-follow guide. It's yours free. Download our 5 steps to securely work from home now at rymarkit.com or call 651-328-8900 for a no-cost how-to discussion.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Cloudy tonight with a low of 30, then Saturday cloudy with a high of 39. Celebrate the Thanksgiving season at Ferndale Market's On-Farm Turkey Fest now through November 27th. Reserve your farm fresh turkey at ferndalemarket.com and pick it up at the event. But if you can't make it to Cannon Falls, that's no problem. Use Ferndale Market's online locator to find a retail partner near you. That's ferndalemarket.com.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. This is Spirit from Reservation Dogs. Get up and listen.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Yes, they do, and that's a great tagline. As I always say, hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and we're wrapping it up here. It's always really good to see you, and we need to resist, and we're bringing out those old Native Roots Radio T-shirts, Resist Again, because we need to just be awake too.
Yeah, I agree that we need to update that and put that message out there. And I think I was talking to you earlier. My daughter borrowed my jean jacket, and I have a feeling I'm not going to get that back. This summer, another daughter borrowed a pair of my earrings. They're the 8th generation, and I'm afraid I forgot the artist name with the buffalo on it. And I know I wasn't going to get it back. So for her birthday, I just wrapped up the empty box that it came in and gave it to her and said, keep it. So I have a feeling that maybe I should wrap up an empty box at Christmas time and tell the other one to just keep the jacket as well. Yeah.
Print a picture and put it in the
Yeah.
Put it
Yeah.
in the
And she
box.
opened it. She's like, "What is this, Mom?" I'm like, "This is the box for the buffalo earrings." And she's like, "Oh, I get it."
Good one. Good
Yeah.
one. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's funny that you say you can't remember the native artists. And I know you and I and Haley have talked about this over the years, that how important it is to know who makes these things
Yep.
and know the names, whether you forget it or not. If they can't come up with the name, it's made in China, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And, when I think about the evolution of native craft and jewelry in the last like 8 years, it's amazing. Um, Not only the level of artistic talent that has evolved, but also, um, the artists that are coming out. It's just incredible. So those earrings, let me tell you, are by Blackfeet artist John Isaiah Papillon. And they're the buff that's a black circle with the buffalo and the lifeline through it. I get so many compliments on that. But when we look at the art that has come out in jewelry and clothing, the whole evolution has been fabulous. And where you used to be able to pick up, some of these beaded earrings for relatively cheap, which was great. Of course, now they're so much more expensive and prized. But the bottom line is these artists are finally getting what they deserve for their talent and their skill in the market, and it's just wonderful. I think you were telling us that there's a makers market out in Shakopee coming up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna for sure get out there because I saw a taste of some of the stuff out there, and I'm like, ooh, Christmas.
Yeah, there's a smattering of those going on too, and not to pat ourselves on the back, but when we originally started Native Roots Trading Post, it was to really uh, get out there the native artists, and we have stories where people are selling paintings for $10-15 because they need formula or they need diapers, and that's
Mhm.
not what the art's worth, and people turn around and sell it for more, and to really amplify these native artists. And one of the other side of that too, state senator, is that you don't have to be a painter. You can be a native painter, and you don't have to have like a teepee or something native in your painting. You still can
Right.
be a native painter that paints.
Yeah. And I think we're seeing more and more of the native artists, feeling comfortable putting their work out there and finding new avenues of appreciation for it. You can do prescribed art all you want, with the teepee and the buffalo or whatever the case may be. But sometimes, you come across some of the most incredible pieces of art that either move you for one reason or another. And when you find out about the artists and what really encouraged them or inspired them to do it, the stories are just riveting in some cases. So when you start doing your podcasts, I think you would do one around native artists and that sort of thing as well.
Well, we could also do it on our radio show here and just make Haley do it. Right, Haley?
Of course. I would love to. I'm like, yeah. I mean, we talk
You're an
about,
artist.
yeah, I was just looking at my paintings down here in the corner while we were talking about it.
Oh.
And I haven't watercolor painted in a while, but like I remember when I was thinking about creating art for like a market or to sell at a friend's booth, I was like, well, does it have to have a teepee in it or a chapotake or a buffalo? And it's, yourself is what makes the art
Right.
native.
Exactly. But it's also good to have one of those little chapotaces thrown in there once in a while,
Yeah.
little chapotake earrings or something. But
Yeah.
no, I agree 100% because that part, you're a native artist or you're native or you do native art. And
Mhm.
they are different.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. For sure.
See
Yeah.
how I switched that around like that? That was kind of cool.
Very nice.
Yes,
Very
thank
nice.
you. Yeah, but support them, ask, and I guess too, really ask who this person is, and if the person that are you going to some market or anywhere other than a sanctioned native market, you're going to have to ask where who made these. Those are the first things I come up with, and geez, it's great to hear when people spit out the name, and I'm just glass-eyed because I don't know who they're talking about, but they know, and that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff out there, and the talent is just sometimes it's just like awesome. You're just
Mhm.
like, wow, where have these people been? And I'm glad that they're finally getting that opportunity to not only have a market for their work, but also the appreciation and that's shown through the price, that people are willing
Right.
to pay. Sometimes I have some, favorite artists, jewelry artists on Instagram, and they'll say, "Going to drop a show this, Tuesday at 6," and by the time I open it up, everything's sold out.
Oh,
And it's just amazing. So I just want to say more power to all of you artists out there, whether you're Indigenous or not. I hope that you get the appreciation that you all deserve.
Yeah, I agree. Geez, we've had some artists go through our store that the earrings are just fabulous, and yeah, and they sell out,
Yeah.
and it's amazing. Yeah. Well, Haley, we got to start beating again. Get together.
Oh yeah. I know. I've been beating a little bit. I've been still kind of working, procrastinating even my first beating project. But it's fun. Like the more things that you learn and can like express yourself through your culture, I feel like just the better you feel and your spirit feels. So learn as much as you can.
Well, that's a good point too, and I know, like when we did those resin earrings, first time elder native came up and said, "Were these prayed over?" And the answer is yes, but we talk about beading, Haley, as each one of those beads is a prayer.
Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of beaters do that as well. And there's an artist that I know that you guys have at Native Roots Arts or Trading Post, Heck Ironcloud, the
Yeah.
painter.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff is amazing. I really like Heck's work, and I think is he Dakota? I'm not.
No, he's not.
No.
He's from a tribe down in New Mexico. That's
Oh,
funny.
that's right.
I can't think of the top of my head
Okay.
what it is, but he won't be up there. But we'll have some of his pieces at Native Roots Trading Post.
Yeah, he does like a different kind of painting. It's like spray paint art, and it's amazing. It's like
both.
horses.
It's like more than that because I've watched him do it. He paints
Oh.
with a knife too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which is, I mean, a painter's knife or a putty knife, not a switchblade like I would cut the canvas. But yeah, come and see that art, Haley. I'll give you a good deal on one of them.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a great time to attend these local Native markets, and I know like places like the Minneapolis Institute of Art has a couple artists that are pretty big in Turtle Island right now that they're featuring some exhibits, and it's a great time for holiday shopping as well.
Well, let me say this too, State Senator, that I know you're an avid reader too, and there's a lot of those authors that you really like, and State Senator just left.
I bet you she's going to grab a book.
I am, exactly.
What is it?
I got this one for my birthday. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I have.
The Rediscovery of America?
Yep,
Yes.
Native Peoples and the Unmaking of U.S. History. And I just got this for my birthday. I haven't even I haven't really looked at it yet. But I'm really excited to sit down and go through this. I'm really excited. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I know too, you really love Marcy's work. We've
Mhm.
talked about that before.
Yep. Marcy Rendon, my sister that you just saw in the background for a minute or two. I was watching her dog all week. She said this past 2 weeks, she's just been blowing through that series. I gave her a couple of them that I had. My sister up in Moorhead is an avid reader of Marcy Rendon. I have Louise Erdrich's new book as well. I just finished The Mighty Red.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And of course, Mona Susan Power and her book, Council of Doll. I don't know if you've read that one.
No,
That's
but
got a lot of my family history in it. She's my cousin.
Oh,
And
you
that was a
kidding?
hard one to get into because there were, like we said, family stuff in there that
Oh.
is just really heart-wrenching for us. So
what was her first book?
her first
Her
book
big
was
book. Breast cancer,
The
or
Grass Dancer. Yep, good for you. Yep.
yeah, I had her as a professor at the University of Minnesota. I took a
Yep.
class of hers.
I think she's still there.
Cool. Hey, State Senator, thank you so much for stopping in. It's always a pleasure, and it's fun, and it's also serious, and it's just really great to have you on.
You guys too.
Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune into Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
As we age, it's important to invest in our health and to help protect it. Like the flu, COVID-19 is always changing. That's why it's important to stay up to date on your vaccines. By getting the flu and COVID-19 vaccines, you can renew your body's defenses and lower the risk of getting sick. Get your health boost and protect yourself against the flu and COVID. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Again, that's vaccines.gov. Vaccines.gov.
Programming on Native Roots Radio is supported in part by MNsure. Looking for health insurance, but not sure where to start? MNsure has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance. Plus, get help from an expert so you save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 18th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at mnsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
Getting bus and train information in your language just got easier. Customers who call Metro Transit at 612-373-3333, again 612-373-3333, are able to select language options at the start of the call. To access information in Spanish, select option 2. For more information about other transit information tools, visit metrotransit.org/Spanish. That's metrotransit.org/Spanish.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations. And here's Wendy with a fun fact Friday Sacred Animals.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Haley. Hey, everybody. My name is Hanaji Hihani. That means cares for them. I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajingo, which means walks on white clouds. I'm a Humane Policy Volunteer Leader for the Humane Society of the United States, and I work on animal issues on the local and state level. And as always, it is my pleasure to do that. Today we have a story from Care 11. Care 11 is a news station in Minnesota, and this is updated on June 13th. A reported birth of a rare white buffalo in Yellowstone National Park fulfills a Lakota prophecy that says better times, according to the members of the American Indian tribe, who cautioned that it also is a signal that more must be done to protect the earth and its animals. The birth of this calf is both a blessing and a warning. We must do more, said Chief Orville Looking Horse, the spiritual leader of the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota Oyate in South Dakota, and the 19th keeper of the sacred white buffalo calf woman pipe and bundle. I'm going to tell you more about this story here. It's very interesting. Let's see here. So the birth of the sacred calf comes after a severe winter in 2023, which drove thousands of Yellowstone buffalo, also known as bison, to the lower elevations. More than 1,500 were killed, sent to slaughter, or transferred to tribes seeking to reclaim stewardship over an animal their ancestors lived alongside for millions of years. Aaron Braden took several photos of the calf shortly after it was born on June 4th in the Lamar Valley in the northeast corner of the park. Her family was visiting the park when she spotted something really white along a herd of bison across the Lamar River. She said that traffic stopped and she was able to take some pictures of this beautiful little white calf. For the Lakota, the birth of a white buffalo calf with a black nose, eyes, and hooves is said to the second coming of Jesus Christ, Looking Horse said. Lakota legend says about 2,000 years ago, when nothing was good, food was running out, and bison were disappearing, white buffalo calf woman appeared, presented a bowl pipe and a bundle to the tribal members, taught them how to pray, and said that the pipe could be used to bring buffalo to this area for food. As she left, she turned to a white buffalo calf. Quote, "And someday, when the times are hard again," Looking Horse said, in relating the legend, "I shall return and stand upon the earth as a white buffalo calf with black nose, black eyes, and black hooves." So this is a beautiful story about this little white buffalo calf, and we're just going to keep an eye on it and send updates every now and then when we find out how he or she is doing. We don't know if it's a he or she yet, I don't think. So anyway, a couple of funny little things here since it's Fun Fact Friday. I've been collecting these little memes here and there, and I find them on Facebook and social media, and people are very clever who come up with these things. So just a little bit of backstory. You know, like when you're driving around and you see these billboards about lawyers, right? If you get into a car accident, call, blah, 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 blah. All those billboards that you see for lawyers for all kinds of different things. Well, here's one with a dog on the front of it, and it's one of those billboard posters, and it says on the top, "Did your human promise you a car ride and take you to the vet? You may be entitled to compensation. Do not sit, stay, and settle. Call us today to schedule your pro bono consultation." Established 2024. Sniffin, Lickum, and Stickum, law attorneys at law. I think that's really cute. Augie Esquire, founder and good boy. And it's a picture of a chihuahua, so that's pretty cute. Yeah, people are really clever. They come up with all these fun little things that I think is so funny. I just watched a video of a baby orca in the sea seeking out help from human beings who were on a boat. So this little orca had something in its mouth, like a piece of rubber, and he kept bringing it up to show the people and acting really weird and laying on its back and like giving a whining sound. So the people on the boat really were like, there's something wrong, something's happening. So they decided to follow the baby calf. And the baby orca calf brought them to its mother, who was tied up and caught in a buoy line. So the mom's tail was caught up in a buoy line and couldn't, swim. So the people, jumped into the water, and the mom stayed really nice and calm. and they were able to take the buoy line off the mom calf, and then she swam away with the mom, and her and the calf swam away, and then just moments after that, you see other orcas coming and like flapping around and flapping their fins in the water and jumping up and splashing and to say thank you. So we see all different kinds of animals seeking help from humans. You know, you think that animals would be not wanting to do that after all the awful things that we do to them. But sometimes, once in a while, when an animal asks for help, humans jump in and they help them. There's another story of a baby elephant who fell into a ditch, and the baby elephant couldn't get out. So the other adult elephants went to find humans, and the humans came with a tractor with equipment to be able to move the earth and dig out the hole deeper so that this little baby calf elephant could crawl out without getting hurt. And then you see the elephants, throwing up their trunks and making that blowing sound, thanking people. There's another video, and you could go on YouTube and just find hundreds of these videos where animals come and seek help from humans. There's another one where a deer had a box stuck on its head. It was probably looking for some type of food. And what happened was the deer came up to the person. You could see the deer was really scared, but the person was kind of talking to it and soothing it, and the deer let the human take the box off its head. There's so many. There's another video of a wolf who's starving and seeks food from a human, and the human, the guy gives him food. So we find these stories all the time, even like during the droughts, where animals can't find any water, where there's a really cute video, you should definitely look this one up, of a squirrel like coming up to this guy's leg and scratching on its leg and wanting the water bottle that the guy is carrying. And the guy, realizes, oh, this poor little animal's thirsty, and the guy like gives the little squirrel the water, and the little squirrel is drinking the water. So it's really very cute. So if you see an animal out there and they seem to be asking for your help, they probably are. So help them out. With that, thank you. Back to you, Robert. Back to you, Haley. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Big Pinagigi Wendy, happy Jaji's Day weekends to all of those celebrating, and safe travels up north to our relatives and friends traveling for the 156th annual White Earth Treaty celebration and powwow. You've been listening to Native Roots Radio, and we'll be back on Monday. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, vote, and free Leonard Peltier now.